Fortnite has one of the biggest storylines ever. Today we are going all the way back and reviewing it all. Last time we left off with AIM spying on our Fortnite island and a blizzard coming towards our island at fast speeds. To catch up on everything, this will make a lot more sense. Go watch this video right here. The blizzard arrives on our Fortnite island in Season 7. With it came Polar Peak, a place full of secrets that will be uncovered shortly. The snow begins to melt little by little, revealing more and more of the castle. Eventually, it reveals the prisoner. But there were eggs in Polar Peak with him. More about those later. Later in the season, the Ice King can be spotted above Polar Peak in a ball. This ended up leading to an event that turned the whole island into snow. Throughout this season, we were experiencing earthquakes. These earthquakes started cracking the ground near Wailing Woods, eventually leading to Season 8. Season 8 started with a volcano replacing Wailing Woods. The prisoner took over the volcano, and those eggs ended up being the eggs of this guy, so not really that important after all. The IO we talked about last video started digging under the map, and they ended up finding a huge metal floor, so they started digging more to find out what it was, eventually leading them to dig up Loot Lake. They found a huge vault looking thing. This is really important for later in the season. It eventually leads to the event. Then out of nowhere, these runes started showing up. We would have to pickaxe them in order for them to change or move. Eventually, they found their way to this newly found vault. One by one, they would put themselves in the vault, eventually working like a key that opened it. This leads to the event. The event starts with the vault opening. Everyone goes inside of it and gets teleported to some weird place. This place has 6 weapons and items in these weird walls. Players quickly realized that if they pickaxed it, they started to break. While most people were breaking the drum gun, others were exploring. They found this desk at the end of the hallway with a helmet on it. This helmet would be very important soon. And past that desk, there was this giant ball. This is the 0 point. The 0 point is basically the thing that created the Fortnite universe. And Fortnite is reality 0, the very first reality. People will come from all sorts of realities just to get their hands on the 0 point. We found out more about this soon. The players break the drum gun and we get teleported back. And when we get back, the volcano is erupting. First it hits Retail Row, then Polar Peak, then Tilted Towers. This leads us right into Season 9. Season 9 starts with Peely and Jonesy running to a bunker for safety. They get there and realize this bunker is awesome. Then they check the fridge for there to be no food. Luckily for Jonesy, he has a giant banana with him. A few decades later, I'm assuming, and someone opens the bunker door for Jonesy to find himself living in the future. We right away notice that at Polar Peak, where the volcano hit, there is something inside the ice. More about the monsters soon. Fortnite Season 9 introduced Fort Bites, or challenges you would do, and every challenge you unlock the new square on a loading screen, eventually leading to this. This loading screen is what Jonesy drew on the wall while in the bunker. Jonesy was seeing things from the future that no one could explain. Back to the monster. The ice started cracking more and more each day, eventually leading to the monster being set free. We could see him swimming around the map with Polar Peak's castle on his back. While all of this is happening, the IO have been working on something to defeat the monster with. They have been working on a robot. They weren't working alone though. They had help. Remember the helmet from this desk? Yeah, the owner of that helmet is working with them. This is an issue for a lot of people in the future, just remember about this. Event day comes and the robot versus monster fight. The robot being controlled by this girl, her name is Singularity. The monster only came for one thing, the 0 point. The monster goes straight forward, breaking open the door and almost making it in. The monster rips the robot's arm off and throws it into the water. The robot runs over to the 0 point and grabs it, uses its energy to punch the monster. It grabs the statue out of Tilted, which ended up being a sword, and kills the monster. This event damaged the 0 point severely. This leads us into Season X. Season X starts with 0 point sending Jonesy to a place that looks like space, but is actually just memories where we can see everything Jonesy remembers, and sometimes other things that have been slightly changed. Then Jonesy falls from the sky and looks up, and the meteor that has once destroyed Dusty Depot is back. The 0 point controls time, every item in the game, every place you can visit, everything, and the 0 point is massively damaged, which means that we were sent back in time and the time has frozen. Skipping forward, we start seeing these machines being built. They're called Rift Zones. They bring weird behaviors to POIs. The person making these is called the Scientist. He's on the same team as the Visitor is. If we skip forward more, we can see a rocket being built. The Scientist is also making this. We can see that the Visitor left a tape on the map. If we play it, we hear this.
What the 7 of us are attempting is very risky. When I hear this again, will it help me remember? Or once looped, will I be just as muted as the others. You arrived outside the loop at the exact moment of expansion. This effectively paused the singularity, giving us time to create the devices needed to synchronize the junction. What I didn't factor was that the only way to trigger the device was from within the loop itself. Activate the beacon at precisely the moment this timer reaches nothing.
You can see they are trying to do something. The Fortnite player is in a loop. This loop loops every 22 minutes and everything starts over again. Once in the loop, it is nearly impossible to escape unless if you know how. But even if you know how, if you do it wrong the first time, you will fail because once looped, you forget everything. There's some machine that they have that they want to use, but in order to do it, he must be inside the loop. That is why he made this tape. The tape will remind him of his plan in order for him to do it. This leads to the event. The event starts with the rocket going off. They create the rift that goes from the front of the meteor to the back. They go around and around and around, eventually unfreezing the time. The meteor goes through the rift and gets rifted above the 0 point. They send it right in, causing everything to be sucked in. Make sure to watch this video here to see the next part. Click here to subscribe.